Greetings, students. I'm Dr. Sadri, your instructor for this course. Uh, Again, in response to the request of a number of students, I've decided to make a short presentation about one of my other books. As you know, my general area is international relation, and then I also focus on a number of particular areas, such as subfields of international relations, such as international organization, international political economy, diplomatic relations. And then in terms of the geographic region, I'm interested in the former Soviet republics and what Persian Gulf. Not only I have done some, single author books and chapters and articles and everything, but I've also enjoyed really working with a number of different scholars from different countries. And one of them has been Professor Dmitry Kasty from Russia. He was teaching at St. Petersburg State University in St. Petersburg, Russia. Okay, I know that we also have in Florida, St. Petersburg, and that's one of my favorite places, but this one was actually St. Petersburg, Russia. And we had some cooperation going between our university and their university, and then participating in each other's meeting and meeting each other at major international conferences such as International Studies Association, which is also known as ISA. You've noticed in some of my lecture notes and everything else, in addition to lecturing you about the concept and theories and methods, I also kind of little by little give you a little taste of how to be professional, what are some of the conferences that we go to, and those of you who are interested and you would like to do that, you can do that with our mentorship as well. So the title of this book, as you can see, is Trends, and Prospects and Challenges of the Globalization. We did this work, this one was published actually in 2009 by St. Petersburg State University Press. It's always very prestigious when some major universities, they publish your work, because that means that, their budgets are limited and they focus on the quality research and everything. So this was basically a work in which Professor Kasty and myself, we basically co-authored and co-edited together. Some of the chapters are written by us, and then some of them we encouraged a number of other younger and more prominent scholars to contribute to. In terms of one of the most interesting and at the same time controversial concept in international relations, the notion of globalization. As you know, some people are very much for it because, in terms of business, it made a lot of sense for some people. That's how we Americans, we go to grocery store, we don't even think about it. Is that right? We don't focus on, oh, this is the season for this type of, vegetables or, fruits or whatever. Why? Because you walk into Publix, Walmart, Whole Food. Every kind of fruits and vegetables is basically available all the time. Well, as you know, nobody can do that one 4 seasons everywhere. Is that right? So obviously this material is coming from different countries where the climate is suitable to provide something which we cannot provide at that particular season. So that's how things works. Okay? So that has been the positive aspect of globalization, but there has been also a negative aspect of globalization. Some of it has been dealing with the power of the multinational corporations, that they can, squeeze in some of these smaller developing countries. That has been one aspect of it. The other aspect of it has been the culture dimension of it, that some, developing countries, that they see themselves, not exactly equal in terms of their power level, soft and hard power. With a greater power, they feel like, some of their values is under attack. And in fact, if you, when you do some of the reading, you see some of the causes of some of the revolutions, like Iranian Revolution by Ayatollah Khomeini. He was one of the people who thought that, Iran, the way it was run by Shah, is that right? He was very pro-Western, and it was introducing a lot of concept, that it's very ordinary for Europe and North America to Iran very, very quickly. he was reacting to that one, and he felt like, that's just basically trying to demolish the, local culture. Is that right? I'm not suggesting he was right or he was wrong, but I'm just suggesting this, what he was arguing. And it was based on those ideas, is that right, that he promoted to come up with what his revolution, and he called the country Islamic Republic. He said that we came to protect Islam. So you see what I mean? So globalization has not been always positive from everybody's perspective. So in contrast to globalization, there are people who have been encouraging and talking about localization. So in this particular book, we collected a number of wonderful, works. In addition to, we provide them with, also chapters and way of thinking and putting it all nicely together. So if you're interested in that one, that book is also available, as I mentioned, through to most of the libraries. I think UCF Library has it, and I know a number of local libraries have it. If can't find it or something, you can just contact me or whatever. We can provide you with the, the contact information from the St. Petersburg University, and then they can order it that way. Please do not buy these books, okay? I do not want any of my students buying any of my books or general, sometimes we have to order a textbook for a course. That's a different thing, is that right? But I don't use my books in that regard either. So this would be something that hopefully would resolve some of the questions you might have in your mind about the notion of globalization and localization and the dichotomy between the two, all right? I hope that one is going to be helpful for some of you. And if you have any kind of question, you know how to get a hold of me. Just email me. Thank you.